name is Kaylee Brooke Proctor, and this is my informative speech. So I'm sure all of you have been grocery shopping within the past couple of weeks, right? Especially since this past weekend was the 4th of July, and we're all grilling, and so what do you buy when you're grilling? Ground beef, right, to make hamburgers. So, if you're noticing, more than likely you saw that the price of the ground beef has been out the roof, right? Especially, not only just in the grocery stores, but also in restaurants, the prices of beef-related meals have just really skyrocketed. I was shopping for my mom a couple weeks ago, and I noticed even then that the price of beef has just went out the roof. And I was like, okay, what is the reason for the price of beef being risen so high like that? You could say that I had a sticker shock, the rising cost of beef. So, after my curiosity, I began, you know what? If you don't know why don't you just search and figure it out? So I did. And I went online and I found all kinds of cool information that I had no idea about because I wasn't raised anything around cows or farming. And I was really excited to find all the new things about cattle raising and such things. And I would like to share all that with you guys today. So what I would like to explain is 1, the background of cattle raising, and 2, the cause of the raising prices of cattle, of the beef from the cattle, and 3, who it affects. So let us begin by looking at the background, a little bit about cattle raising. So there's some important things to know that I didn't know about cattle raising that's really important for all of us to know as women that are grocery shopping. So the United States, according to the USDA, is the world's largest producer of beef, and I had no idea, but thought that was so cool. And so the farmers here in the United States do a cycle called the cattle cycle. And the cattle cycle helps lower the costs of beef prices, but it's a really slow process, and you're thinking, okay, what is the cattle cycle? Well, it's similar to, you could say, the circle of life, which I think we all kind of know what that is, but here's a little bit more to explain it. They breed the cattle, and they birth the cattle, and then they get the cattle to the right weight so then they can sell it. So, what does this have anything to do with the price of beef rising? Well, the cattle can't possibly be the right weight if there's a drought, right? So the rising cost of beef is because there has been a drought. And not so much here in Alabama, but in the big cattle states like Texas. So according to Dr. Michael J. Baker, he says in his article, Beef Prices Are Rising, that drought in Texas has caused historically high prices of beef. And the farmers can't successfully do the cattle cycle if the ground, the grass is not rising, so then the cattle can't get the right food, and then the cattle are all skinny and they're not making enough money. So that's where the drought has come into play with why the beef prices have been rising so high. Megan DeRisen says in her article that the prices of beef have risen 76% since 2009. 76% since 2009. It's crazy. So, but the thing is, people are still grilling. People are still eating at McDonald's, getting their hamburgers, and Taco Bell getting their tacos. So the demand hasn't gone down. So the problem is the farmers don't have enough of cattle to be able to fill in this high demand. So, who is affected by the high prices of the beef? Well, obviously the farmers are, because they're having to take the blows of the high prices, of having to sell the cattle for less money because they're not as well developed. Of course, the grocery stores are, because they are not. They're having to compete with other grocery stores that are having the higher or lower prices of seeing who can beat who. And also, the restaurants are taking a really big hit because they're losing a lot of their service, because people are not wanting to go to the restaurants anymore because they're having to raise the prices to keep up with all the other competitors. And also us. We're really taking a hit in our pockets when we want to make tacos for our family, right? So, now that we understand a little bit of the background behind cattle raising, what causes the increased prices of beef, and who is affected by those prices, we can better understand when we're grocery shopping why the price of beef has been risen so high within the past couple of weeks. And so I hope that when you guys go grocery shopping now, you can have a better understanding of why the beef prices are so high. So thank you.